So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through these 3 examples. If you did not finish, that's fine. That's okay. You know, I understand, because again, I want to make sure we have time to start factoring at least. Okay, so let me go through these. All right, so let me just do this. There we go. So for this is for the first one. Actually, I wonder if I can, yeah, here we go. So for the first one, again, you could probably see that you have, yeah, wait, let me get the pointer. Here we go. Okay, so for the first one, again, let me just point out that one of the polynomials, right, as you can see, that's each term there is giving us a column, as you can see. From the other polynomial is each term gives us a row. Okay, so again, we have this table here then, right? Columns and rows, as you can see. Okay. And so we have x cubed times x squared, right? That's where x to the 5th comes in. Remember, to get the missing grid entries, you multiply the row and column entry terms together, right? Here, we're adding exponents, as you can see. So that's where x to the 5th comes in. Here, we have x cubed times 4x. So that gives us x cubed times 4x, which is 4x to the 4th. And x cubed times 3 is this, you know, and so on and so forth. So once we do all the products and fill in all the grid entries, as I did here already, what we're going to do is add. You add these grid entries that you just filled in to get the product. And again, notice that there are some like terms here, right? For instance, we have 5x to the 4 and 4x to the 4, right? Those are like terms, so you actually can combine them. That's where the 9x to the 4 comes from. We have 20x cubed, we have 3x cubed. That's where this comes from, 23x cubed. So we end up getting this product. So this is the product, the polynomial of degree 5. Okay, good. Okay, so that's the first example. Okay, well, let's look at the second. So this is the second. So again, it's really just the same idea. We have, yeah, x to the 4, right? This polynomial I'm using to get to form the columns. The other polynomial I'm using to form the rows. Okay, that's all I'm doing here. Okay. Right, so for this one, for instance, here, we have x cubed times x to the 4. That gives us x to the 7, right? You add the exponents. I've seen students in the past, they would multiply the exponents. Don't do that. You add them. Here we have negative x squared times x to the 4, right? We get negative x to the 6. Here also we have 15x squared, x cubed, right? The 15 is in front. That becomes the coefficient of the product, and we have x cubed times x squared, that's x to the 5th, and so on and so forth. And I don't think I made a mistake here, thank goodness. At least I hope I didn't, but I don't think I did. But anyway, it looks like there are like terms here, right? 15x to the 4 and negative x to the 4, right? When we combine, we get 14x to the 4.
Shouldn't it be negative 15x to the 4th?
What'd I do?
Because it's positive times the negative.
Oh, it should be negative 15x to the 4.
Yeah.
Let me add that. Let me just draw that in, actually. Thank you. So I did make a mistake. That's all right, I hope. There we go. Right, so that's going to be negative. So this would be negative. So what we should have here then is negative 16. See if I can get that in. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Well, sort of. Okay. So it looks like that's the only, hopefully that's the only mistake I made. At least I think it is. So, okay. So we end up getting negative 16x to the 4. Thank you. So this is what we get. Okay. All right. So that's hopefully good. Are there any other questions on this? I just want to see, I was just looking to see if there are any questions. All right, let's do the other one. There's one more. Here we go. So again, this is the last one, and hopefully I got this one right. I think I did. But again, it's the same idea. I'm using, again, the, what do you call it, the grid method, the box method, right? So it's the same idea. You multiply row and column terms together. You fill in the missing, excuse me, let me just, here. We have one polynomial. Each term, as you can see, gives us a column. The other polynomial, each term is giving us a row. Make sure, again, keeping the negative signs with the terms, like so. And hopefully, I don't think I made a mistake here. But again, once you get the missing grid entries, you add. And it looks like the only terms looks like are these two. And from there, it looks like we get this product, right? You add, once you get the missing grid entries, you add them up, combine like terms, boom, we're good. And it looks like I did not make a mistake. Okay. All right, so that's good. So that's basically multiplication, all I wanted to do with multiplying polynomials together. I mean, hopefully it wasn't too bad for anyone. So let me do the, so are there any questions at all? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start factoring. So let me get the factoring, day one. And factoring I'm going to spend more time on, mostly because factoring, unfortunately, is, pretty tricky. Okay. This thing would close. I'm just waiting for there we go. Okay. So let me just pause the recording.